at me over and over as I was hauled down the creaking steps and into the dirt. Ace's lanky silhouette leaned over me, their face flushed as they panted with exertion. Gasping, I blinked up at my sibling. The sun was so low in the sky that the stars shone through the skeletal branches. "Ace?" I groaned. "Yes, thank fuck," gasped Ace, dropping down into the dirt beside me. "Oh, thank fuck. I think you broke my nose." "What happened?" "What happened? Hell if I know. Why were you sitting in there holding hands with rotting corpses?" "Corpses?" I whirled to look back at the cabin. We were in the dirt just below the front steps. The door hung open. Inside was dark, but the smell that wafted out made my stomach buck. Ace snatched my arm and pulled me towards the trees. "Let's get the fuck away." I jerked back instinctively. "But, Emily," I said. I was too confused to do much more than cast a quick look behind me as my sibling tugged me into the pines. The cabin looked even more dilapidated than I remembered. The window panes cracked and missing, and the roof sagging like it was about to collapse. Through the darkness of the open door, I could make out vague shapes, still and solemn, positioned around the table. And then Ace was pulling us into the bramble. I asked why we didn't take the path back down, and my older sibling snapped, "There's no path. I was barely able to find your markers." It felt like I was lost between dream and wakefulness, in some strange limbo while Ace shined their phone flashlight around, trying desperately to catch the beam on the occasional blue tape wound around branches or on piles of stones or pieces of clothing tied around trees. Apparently Ace had supplemented my trail with their socks, a headband, and other items from their pack. Even so, it was harrowing trying to find our way through the darkening twilight. We reached the campsite just as pitch black descended. "Are the police coming?" I asked. "No." Ace still had hold of my hand, as if afraid to let go. "I didn't get very far before I decided I'd rather die being stupid with you than go for help and risk losing you." "Oh, so there were no authorities coming to look for us." We built a small fire and huddled together to wait for dawn while Ace told me slowly, haltingly, what they'd seen. They followed my blue tape trail to the cabin and found me sitting at the table, eyes squeezed shut. When I didn't react to my name being called, they noticed the family appeared to have simply died sitting around the table holding hands, and I was holding their hands too. It freaked them out. Then they saw one of the family had no eyes, that the eyes had been wrenched out and one of the eyeballs was held in the free hand. The man had apparently plucked out his own eyes. Between this and the reek of decomposition, Ace rushed out and threw up. When they finally stopped being sick and came back inside to get me, I came bursting out past them and ran. Ran and ran and ran, and they chased me around the cabin 2 or 3 times before they found me sitting back in the chair holding hands again. That's when they grabbed me, and I punched them in the nose. "Oh," I said quietly, and then, dreading the answer, "Did you see anything on the table?" Ace was silent for a long time before grunting. "Yeah, something about when the last chair is filled, and it was freaky as shit because all the chairs were filled except the last one." A strange laugh bubbled in their throat. "You know, I almost felt like sitting down. Weird impulse. Thank God you didn't," I thought. It was Ace's total